In a tranquil village of Kukoi, there lived the couple named Akanji and Romoke. Akanji was a well-respected fisherman known for his integrity and strength, while Romoke was cherished for her kindness and wisdom. The couple had been married for over a decade, yet they were childless. Romoke had conceived multiple times, but each pregnancy ended in miscarriage, leaving the couple heartbroken and the villagers whispering. Akanji's family, driven by tradition and superstition, urged him to take another wife, believing that Romoke was cursed. They suspected that her miscarriages were a result of dark forces, casting a shadow over their family lineage. Despite the pressure, Akanji's love for Romoke remained unwavering. He believed deeply that one day his wife would bring forth a child, and he stood by her side through every trial and tribulation. Years passed and hopes seemed to dwindle. But then a miracle happened. Romoke conceived once again. The villagers, skeptical from past experiences, anticipated yet another heartbreak. They whispered,
"This always happens. She will lose the child again, just like before."
But against all odds, Romoke carried the pregnancy to full term. To everyone's surprise, she gave birth to twin boys, naming them Lolu and Folu. This event was unprecedented in Kukoi, as twins were rarely born in that village. The village erupted in celebration, with people coming from far and wide to witness this miracle. Twins were considered a double blessing, and the arrival of Lolu and Folu were seen as a sign of great fortune. As the boys grew, they became beloved figures in Kukoi. Men and women would visit just to spend time with them, bringing gifts and sharing stories. The twins' presence brought a sense of joy and unity to the village. They were like rays of sunshine, their laughter and innocence brightening every corner of the village. Lolu and Folu grew up in an environment filled with love and admiration. They were the pride of the village and their charm were irresistible. However, one day an incident occurred that would change the villagers' perception of them forever. Adeniyi, a well-known trader in the village, often took the twins with him to the markets. One day, as they accompanied him, the twins began eating some of Adeniyi's fruits without his notice. When he discovered what they had done, he was furious. He scolded and flogged them, expecting them to cry and apologize. Instead, the twins laughed and told Adeniyi that the marks from his beatings would appear on his younger sister's body. Adeniyi dismissed their words as mere childish nonsense and continued with his day. However, when he returned home, he found his sister crying, with marks on her back exactly where he had beaten the boys. Confused and terrified, he told the villagers about what had happened. They did not believe him, thinking he was either dreaming or fabricating the story. But those who knew Adeniyi well could see the fear in his eyes and began to wonder about the twins' powers. As the twins grew, their mysterious abilities became more apparent. They seemed to have a power that no one could explain. The mix of fear and awe started to change how the villagers viewed them. The twins, once seen as a pure blessing, were now also viewed with caution. One day, while playing near the edge of the village, they accidentally knocked over the cooking pot of an old woman, known for her quick temper. The contents of the pot spilled, and the angry old woman began to curse the twins. She made them kneel down for hours as punishment, despite their sincere apologies. Out of anger, the twins uttered a curse of their own. They declared that starting from the next morning, the old woman would always go on her knees to greet everyone, whether young or old, and she would never be able to stop. The old woman dismissed their words as childish threats, but to her horror, When she woke up the next day, she couldn't resist the urge to kneel down to greet anybody she meets. She kept kneeling to greet even a little baby. No matter how much she wanted or tried to stop, she couldn't bring herself to stop. Exhausted and frightened, the old woman begged the twins for forgiveness. The villagers who had gathered around were stunned. The same woman who had instilled fear in them for years was now pleading with the young twins. This event significantly altered the villagers' perception of the boys. The twins, who were once adored for their charm, were now being feared for their powers. As they grew older, their abilities continued to isolate them from the rest of the village. The villagers, once enchanted by the twins, now kept their distance out of fear. The young men who might have been their friends avoided them, and the twins began to feel increasingly lonely. Desperate for a sense of normalcy, the boys yearned to be like other young people in Kukoi. They wanted to play, laugh, and make friends without burden of their powers hanging over them. This longing led them to consider breaking a rule their mother had always emphasized.
Never go near the river without my permission. Make sure you inform me before going close to the river.
Their mother, Romoke, had always been adamant about this rule, but she never explained why. The twins, who were curious and eager to change their loneliness, decided to visit the river on their own despite their mother's warning. On a bright sunny day, the twins made their way to the river without permission, a place that had always been forbidden to explore on their own. The river was a hub of activity, with villagers washing clothes, swimming, and enjoying the cool, refreshing water. The twins hoped to join in the fun and be seen as ordinary members of the community. At first, the presence of the boys caused fear and confusion. People began to pack up their belongings to move away from the water. The twins, however, pleaded with the villagers, assuring them that they meant no harm and only wanted to play and share in the joy of the river. Soon, some villagers decided to stay. They were conscious at first, but as the boys laughed and played with them, the atmosphere began to feel normal again. However, their joy was short-lived. One of their friends at the river playfully splashed water on Lulu. Immediately, his skin began to change, taking on the appearance of a water creature. His legs began to transform into a tail no one could identify. Folu, trying to help his brother, touched the water and started changing too. The villagers were terrified and didn't know what to do. They ran to fetch their mother. Their mother arrived at the river to find her sons transforming into river creatures. Heartbroken, she cried as she watched this strange transformation. Her sadness lifted the air, making everyone feel the weight of the moment. Amid the chaos, the village priest stepped forward with a revelation. He disclosed that the twins were actually children of the River King. This secret had been kept by Romoke out of fear. She had sought the help of a Babalawo years ago, when she was desperate for children. The Babalawo had asked the River King for help, and in return, the twins were born. However, there was one condition. She must always perform water sacrifice before the boys go to the river, or else they would return to the River King. With no way to reverse the transformation, they decided to let the boys go into the river, giving them back to the River King. As they did, something strange happened. The wave from the river sent both Lolu and Folu back to the river bank in their original human form. The villagers were amazed by the power and kindness of the River King. Romoke happily hugged the boys on the river bank. Life in Kukoi returned to normalcy. The villagers, having witnessed the extraordinary events, became more united and understanding. They learned to embrace the mysteries of life and the importance of compassion and acceptance. The twins grew up with a deep connection to the river, visiting it often to feel close to the River King. They became a bridge between the village and the river, sharing stories of the River King and the lessons from his past. Ramoke also found solace in the river, knowing that her children were at peace with the river. The story of the twin boys became a legend in Kukoi village and continued to inspire generations, reminding them that sometimes the best things happen in the most unexpected ways. Kukoi village became a place where love, trust, and acceptance flourished, and the river remained a symbol of life's mysteries and the importance of faith in the unknown. Thank you for watching another of our video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on your notification bell to get notified when we drop our next story.